Now, remember guys, when I'm looking away, and I look away and I come back, it's because, well, I try and medicate myself for my, I think it's ADHD, well, I know, they said I met the criteria, I was 35 for mild, so there's levels, so I'm not going to disrespect those who have higher levels and say, that's not a disability. I mean, they have all these abilities, but basically we're made for the hunter-gatherer days. This society doesn't, so like, most of our strengths are not accepted. It's just that they're not profitable, if you have mild ADHD, you can take medication or I medicate myself because it's $700 a meeting. And then they said, oh, you meet all the criteria, but in order to access this medication, you have to do this meeting, and then that meeting is going to cost $700. And the next meeting, we don't know how many meetings it's going to cost to get the diagnosis, but you are that. And it's like, and you can't access any medication to help you out unless you have that diagnosis, and then you have to go through these not situations, you have to try and figure out what medication's right. So I have to some days I have to push myself, so I feel like I'm behind in life and stuff. But it's like, okay, Daniel, if you want to be a winner, this is what we do today. And every day I have goals. I just make sure I do those things. And all the goals are daily goals are always pushing towards a weekly goal, and then the weekly goal to a monthly goal, and then onwards and upwards, But I just write them down every day. But apparently, because I look away when I'm thinking. Sometimes I'll just stay still because it's like I don't want to look away. I want to stay on track, and But autistic people can do that too because they're fantasizing things or whatever. But the fact is that like about 50% or thereabouts. Different studies say 80%, some studies say about 30%, so I'm going to go with halfway in between, which is literally like 55%, so half. Half of people with autism also have ADHD, so I have level 1, which means, and I say this because people say, oh, autism's not a disability, it's a superpower because you got the ability to this is where the overlapping makes things. They say you get the repetitive behavior is you never get bored from it, but then there's other, I just have things where the 4 or 5 goals are pretty much the same every day, but then the rest of the day is unplanned, so that I can get my ADHD needs met. Because I always used to be like pushed to get things done, but then I'd feel like absolute garbage if I didn't achieve what I said I was going to do. So I might have one of those days once every 3 weeks or a month, and so that's once every 21 days. I might not be able to achieve them all. So where that drifting off thing is, okay, I don't know if, I don't mean to be harmful when you think, I just don't want to offend you. I don't want you to think I'm stealing your content. I'm just trying this because I didn't always respond to Terry and Bell, so it's just like maybe I'll just learn from that and do a response. I'm trying to go, it's like it's been 5 years no contact, so it's onwards and upwards from there, okay? That's what I'm trying to be like. That doesn't mean I forget. But here's the thing about that whole oppression thing. I agree. And the hard thing is, I wish the world wasn't like this. It's my cup. I wish the world wasn't like this, but it seems to be, from my experience, that not everyone, but it's that's a thing. But not everyone, but clicky, because I'm mixed ethnicity. It's only one human race, so sometimes I slip up and say mixed race, but actually there's only one human race, a mixed ethnicity. Growing up, I was like staunch, hard out behind my Māori people and stuff. But then at the same time, if I had other people who were white or whatever ethnicity, but 90% of New Zealanders, Polynesians and white people, so like all of like Tongan, Samoan, Cook Island, Fijian, Niuean. And then you got the white people, as in like English, Irish, Scottish, Welsh, French, Italian, I suppose. Yeah. Well, actually, it's is it? No. But combined adds up to like 90% of the nation. And I remember like doing kapa haka for 15 years, doing all that type of thing. So some people said to me that. Again, this is the autism kicking in. Like when you go through negative things, then it brings you back the negative experiences of the past. But then yet again, I've heard some ADHD people say it. Like I had adults tell me that I didn't know who I was, and they didn't like me because I was like white and other things, But then they said that I don't truly care about my Māori people and stuff, and it's like, dude, like I was doing kapa haka, learning the language, and my surname is Mohi, which is a Māori name, family name, and then you just go through things like getting turned down employment, all this type of thing over and over again, going through different things, and some people have since opened up and told me that was because I didn't fit in, I was really different and I couldn't fit in. But at the time, they said it was because I was white. So I took that on board. I was like, okay, so, that must be the reason. And then it was when I was 30 years old, I joined my first European group. We were studying European history and stuff, and and I would talk to other people about it and how we got to stand up for ourselves, and nothing else happened. Like I was in the meetings once a week, but I told them that about my Māori stuff and how I find other women more attractive sometimes, like certain ethnicities are more attractive to me. And then I got a job teaching English in China and told them I was going to leave to China and be teaching learning Chinese. And then COVID happened. So COVID happened a year later. I was supposed to go in 2020 and I was attending that group in 2018. So I've had enemies on both sides, and it's like you put in all this effort for all these years, right? And then they'll just gaslight you as if you never cared in the first place. These uncles and aunties of mine, certain aunties specifically, gaslight me. I never cared in the first place, and how I was always an asshole, all this type of thing. So